This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.
Hi, hello everyone. Good evening. So, uh, I'll briefly tell about my experience. So, in the last year, I've started giving UPSC, and it was my first attempt. And in 2019, I've reached till the interview stage, and I was not in the final list. And in 2020, it is my second attempt, and I secured to the 355th rank. So, and my optional is political science and international relations. And are you preparing for the first time? And I assume you're going to give 2022 prelims, right? Okay. So I think have you chosen your optional already, or you're still in the process of selecting them? Still in the process. Okay. So I think choose your optional wisely, because choose it so that you will get the maximum support, either from your friends or from those who cleared or from your institute, right? So choose that optional. And also I choose political science because I thought political science will also help me in general studies, and it helped me in essay also. And overall it was a very interesting subject, and it also provides us sustainability to study for a long time. So for 2 years I had to continuously study political science, and that is the reason why I chose political science, because it is one of the interesting subjects available. So let's talk about the basic approach first. How to go about the preparation in the first year, right? You have 1 year to almost an year to give. When is the prelims? In June, is it? Or 8 months? Okay, so 8 months is a very good time to prepare for prelims, and also cover the basics of the optional, and also to clear prelims in the first attempt as well. So I'll tell you my approach, how I have followed in the first year, right? So, and you can have the takeaways from it. So in the first year, what I decided was I did not start any answer writing right from the beginning, because I had to first study the subjects and consume the knowledge, the concepts, and then only I can start writing answers, right, for mains. And also I felt if I do not clear prelims, I don't even have the opportunity of writing mains. So clearing the prelims was one of the major barriers to cross, and believe me, it is one of the difficult stages in the exam, because it is very dicey, and slowly the trend is also changing continuously, and it is becoming more and more unpredictable. So in prelims, how I followed is that I took, for modern history I took a book, for polity I took another book, for economy I took a course online, and for environment also I took another book. So I selected these books even before my preparation. So many people are giving a lot of strategies, right? So from those we can pick up whichever book we think is good. So once you go through, I spent around a month in going through the YouTube videos itself, so that I'll know what all sources are available and how these people have cleared the exam, and what things I can borrow from them. So apart from mine, I think you will also go through many other rankers videos, and even those people who have not cleared, right? Even people who have cleared the prelims or mains, also talk to them and gain their strategy also, so that it can help you adapt into yours. So in the first year, after going through these YouTube videos, I selected these few books. For modern history, I selected Lakshmikant Ka Indian Polity, and for polity I selected Lakshmikant, and for modern history I selected Spectrum, and like that for environment a few books. So after selecting these books, I put 15 days or 2 to 3 weeks for each book, and half a day I used to spend on studying that book, and go understanding the concepts. It was the first time I was reading the book and studying the concept, and the later half of the day I used to study optional, because it is very important to clear the have a clear understanding of optional subject before the prelims, so that after prelims it becomes very easy, quite easy, not easy, less difficult for us to prepare for mains and start answer writing then. So it is good for us to finish the subject and portion of optional before prelims, and also start writing answers, some of the answers for optional, whenever we get time. So in the initial months, try to focus both on prelims and optional in a single day, and spend good amount of time on looking at the previous year questions also. So for prelims, I'll tell you what I followed. For prelims, I after while going through each book, I also used to have a previous year questions booklet with me, and while I am reading modern history's spectrum, I followed spectrum. So while I was following the spectrum, I used to look at the previous year questions also. So what kind of questions are they asking? And so if you start writing notes the first time you read the book, you will you will take all the content and dump it in your notes. So that might not be a good approach, because you will write down everything and you cannot revise everything, and all of those things are not important. So first go through the book once. You will understand the concept, you will understand the chronology, underline in the book, keep thinking about it, like no need to write down, just Google, Wikipedia use karo. So if it is about Gandhi, just try to read about Gandhi on Wikipedia. If it is about Bose, try to read about Bose on Wikipedia, and just go through the articles. So get the fair idea and concept of the modern history. For example, the events which have happened in modern history. For example, you are studying about Lord Curzon, who was a Governor General of India from 1898 to 1905. So you can go through his Wikipedia page and what he has done. So just try to understand the concept and try to enjoy the first time you read the book. And after once finishing the book once, you can go to the previous year question papers and also the test series, which many institutes are providing, right? So go through those test series questions, go through the previous year questions, and look at what kind of questions they are asking. And so at that point of time, you will get a fair idea of what to remember and what not to remember, what to study, what not to study. So that slight thin line of demarcation will be clear to you. So then go back to the book again, and in the book, while reading the book again, studying the book again, try to write down the notes now. And you will write down the notes in a very targeted manner, because you have already looked at the questions and you know what to write down and what type of questions are coming in the prelims examination. So in this way, we can write good notes. And what I did was I utilized Evernote for making notes. So Evernote is an Evernote is a software where we can write down notes, and it's a very good software to have write systematic notes and put pictures and all. So I was that kind of a person who did not want to go back to Lakshmikant and read the book again whenever I wanted to revise. So what I did, the second time I am studying Lakshmikant, I started noting down points in Evernote, and I knew what points to note down and what to highlight, what to underline, because I've already gone through the previous year questions, and also I've done a few test series even in the initial stages itself. So we might think it is in the very beginning of our preparation. How can we do all these questions in the prelims? These are very difficult. But even if you don't know, just go through the questions, because while you are going through the questions, you are learning the concept. So that itself is also a learning. It's not just testing. It's not just testing how much at which level you are. It is also a learning for you. Even if you don't know any questions or not able to solve some of the prelims questions. So in this way, we'll be able to write good notes when we are trying to write down notes. So I made a very visually appeasing and aesthetically, beautiful notes, because I wanted to look at the notes again and again, and I did not want to feel bored when I had to go back and read the notes. And so I used to include a lot of maps. I used to include a lot of pictures, diagrams, graphs. So because like you read the NCERT, it is very interesting, right? And you read any text without diagrams, it feels very boring for a normal person. So in the same way, in Evernote, I included these pictures, maps, visual representations, tables, so that it becomes easy for me to go back and read the notes, and it does not feel like I'm studying something. It feels like, okay, I'm reading something interesting, I'm going through some YouTube video as such. So that is how I prepared my notes. And after reading the book which I choose for each subject 2 times, I did not go back to the book at all. I referred to my notes again and again, and I started solving questions. I took multiple test series. So in my first attempt, when I was preparing for 2019 civil services examination, before starting the test series of 2019 examination, I took 2018 examinations prelims test series, and tried to go through the questions, started writing down notes from those questions as well. So I did not solve them as tests. I just went through the questions, looked at the questions, looked at the options. I got familiar with the words, with the concepts. So in the initial days, we might not know a lot, but once you keep going through the questions without fear, just keep attempting the questions, you will slowly find out that you will slowly become comfortable with these concepts and questions. And once you start solving 2019 test series, it becomes very easy for you. So this is how my prelim strategy has been. And also, knowledge is very I think it is just around 30 to 40% contribution in the clearing prelims, because these days prelims question papers are, even if you read about MSP, they are not directly asking about the related concepts of MSP, because related to MSP there are thousands of things, hundreds of things, and they can ask anything. So you need to learn the art of finding out the black sheep in the 4 options, right? So somewhere that answer is hiding in those 4 options, and how will you find that out? So that art you will learn only when you solve a lot of questions. So I did around 100 tests before my prelims. So 100 tests equal to 100 into 100, almost 10,000 questions. So by the time I finished all these tests, I somehow got the art of finding out the answer, finding out the option, even if there is very little knowledge. So you will find out, like, okay, you need to keep thinking, if this is not true, how can this person give this option? Out of the blue he cannot create this option, so this could be true. So these kind of tricks you need to learn, and these you will learn only when you keep solving questions. So this is how overall prelims preparation can go. And parallelly, along with prelims preparation, I studied for optional also. So optional, what I did, I used to attend classes, and after my class, whichever notes I used to write down during the class, I used to revise them. So this consistent revision of a new subject for me for 5 months, continuously for 5 months, has helped me retain those concepts. And as soon as the class gets finished, I used to read them once, and even before the next class I used to read them again. So this multiple revisions in the very initial days will contribute a lot to your memory and understanding of the concepts, especially if you have taken a new subject as optional which you have not encountered till now in your life. So for PSIR, this is how I did. I used to attend the classes, I used to go through the optional subject, the notes. I used to read multiple times the same notes, and I used to think. So there's a lot of thinking involved in my optional, because we used to read about thinkers and philosophers. So what would this philosopher or what would this thinker say if put in a so and so situation? So I used to think like that. So thinking and analyzing by your own, just trying to enjoy what the thinker is doing, what the thinker is saying, why is he saying this. So try to enjoy and engage with the subject more in the initial days, in your first time, at least till the prelims, so that you will like the subject, you will start liking the subject, you will start researching more and more about these guys, and slowly you will be able to interlink multiple concepts in the optional as well as in your general studies, and you will get a fair idea of the concepts. So this is how prelims, my first year till prelims has gone. And for mains, it is majorly answer writing and trying to write down notes, and using these notes in answers, and trying to look at topper copies, and how my answer is different from the topper copies, or how my answer is different from the answers which the institute also provides solution set, right? So how is this different? How can I make my answer better with the given knowledge? With the given knowledge I have, how can I make my answer much better? Rather than trying to go searching for knowledge, it is more of with the existing knowledge, how can I write the best answer possible? So this is how my approach was. If you have any specific questions, we can try to address that. Book for PSI are optional. So I have gone through the notes of. Apart from these notes, I used to Google a lot. I used to use YouTube a lot, Google a lot. IGNOU is also providing a few notes on thinkers and philosophers. So Googling and YouTube is one of the major things which we need to do, because it will not only help us in our optional, it will help us in anything. So overall, in interlinking the concepts, in understanding the big picture, Googling and YouTube is very important, and having that curiosity to Google anything which we do not know or anything which is interesting is very good. For example, one Bollywood movie is going to get released where in 1911, I guess in London, one of the revolutionary fighters has attacked a general, a British general, and I think it is Dhingra or something. I forgot. Sorry. So as soon as I got to know about this movie, I googled. I read the Wikipedia. I read about the event. So about the event, once you read, you will know who all participated. So Wikipedia, if you keep going, if you keep clicking on multiple things, you will keep going inside. So when you are bored or when you do not feel like studying from the books, just take Wikipedia, like how I have landed on the Wikipedia page of this particular movie and the event. I kept on clicking on the links in Wikipedia, so it will take us through different pages. So you will get a big picture, and you will also find it interesting to keep studying for UPSC, to keep us going for a long time. So this is how we can keep our interest. Curiosity is one of the major things which we need to have, is what I believe. Yeah. Any more questions? Any specific questions if you have? Okay. I am not from mathematics. I have not taken mathematics optional, but from what I have heard from my friends who have taken that optional and studied, mathematics optional is quite lengthy, right? Because it takes some time to cover the whole subject, and it requires a lot of practice. You have to keep practicing every time, and compared to other optional, I think mathematics concepts, it is the use of mathematics concepts in general studies is quite limited, right? But if compared with my optional, which is the optional which I have taken, that is political science, I could use the same concepts in essay or ethics or even just general studies. So this interlinking is there in other humanities optionals, but I think mathematics optional does not provide that. But however, if you look at the scores, mathematics is you have a certainty in scoring for mathematics, right? Because if you give the solution and do the answer properly in a right manner, you might get full marks, and this is the trade-off which we have when we select optionals. So that is a choice. Sorry, when should we start answer writing? Is that your question? Okay. So what I did for optional, I have started even before prelims, because I thought if I have to practice answer writing for general studies, I might not get much enough, like a lot of time for practicing answer writing for optional as well. So I did a little bit of answer writing practice, very few questions, a few tests before prelims, so that I get a hang of it, I get a practice of it, and I am not afraid to start it as soon as prelims gets over. So this is how I started for optional. But for GS, I did it only after clearing prelims, and I took a few test series, I took a few questions, I started writing down answers, kept on revising them, making them better. And for optional also, I did almost a similar thing. And majorly, even in answer writing also, note making is quite important, because once we make notes, and for example in PSI or optional, there are some concepts and thinkers. So for each concept, there might be multiple thinkers who give different opinions. So what I used to do, I used to make a note on Evernote for for a particular concept. I used to put all these thinkers' pictures, and below these pictures, I used to just write down few words on what their concepts are. So for reading, for studying for the first time, or for understanding, these notes are not enough. I used to read from the full notes which I had, or from Google or YouTube. But for revising, this becomes very easy. This particular note making becomes very easy because we go through the notes very quickly. And I still remember in my first attempt when I was writing one of the answers for PSIR, I used to once I looked at the concept, I quickly recollected what note I had in Evernote, and I quickly recollected which pictures I put. So from the pictures I got the concepts connected, and I wrote that answer very quickly. So this saves us time for writing other answers, which are sometimes a bumper questions, right? So for those we need to spend a little bit more time. So for direct questions, for the optional or for GS, if we have such kind of notes, it helps us in saving time while writing the test, while writing the exam, and spend the time for those questions which we do not know completely, and we have time to analyze. I think optional, choosing an optional is a very personal choice. So I chose. I'll tell you why. What factors I have considered for choosing political science. Maybe you can think of those factors and not think of the optional. So for political science, one of my friends has already cleared with political science optional, and he has scored good marks. So I thought if I take guidance from him, that would be easy for me. So he has already gone through the journey once, so I'll have his learnings as well for me while preparing the optional. So this is one of the reasons. And another factor is I have to read it for long, for 1, 2, or 3 years if I have to write again. So at that point of time, I thought if the optional is only if the option is interesting, then only I can sustain it for a long time. And that is why. And political science, I found it very interesting for me personally, because there are many thinkers and there is international relations, which is very dynamic. But there are pros and cons for each optional, right? So you can weigh that also. For example, for international relations, especially in political science, every year new concepts, new issues keep coming, and every year we have to be updated with the current affairs. So for every mains, I have to get updated with the current affairs, and my notes used to, for last year mains and this year mains, I updated my notes and started reading new things. So it takes some time. But for other static optionals, it is not the case. It is not very dynamic. So this is one of the pros and cons. And another pro for political science is that I thought political science covers a good amount of portion of GS2 as well. So, and also it has very good thinkers concepts, which I can use for in essay or ethics. So there is good overlapping with GS 1, 2, 3, 4 and essay. So not 3, GS 1, 2, 4 and essay. So that is why I chose, that is one of the factors which made me choose political science. So think of these factors, and also think of whether for that particular optional you have a good mentor available, or you have good material available online or in the market, right? Because it is equally good to be, it is equally important to be practical also. So also look at the trends, how is the optional faring. I don't think that is a very big issue as such, but keep that also in mind while choosing optional. All the best for your attempt, and like enjoy and prepare. It's equally important to enjoy the preparation, because we do not know how long it might go. And for the first attempt itself, we are preparing for 1 year, and then 3 months for mains, and then again 2, 3 months for interview, right? So it is very important to enjoy the preparation, because without enjoying the preparation, we cannot have interest and sustain it for long. How to use newspaper? I think newspaper is majorly for keeping us aware of the surroundings and the happenings, right? And I don't think the era of getting questions directly from the newspaper in prelims is still there. because in prelims the trend has been changing, and current affairs also, it is not direct questions, they are going in depth and asking, and there the questions are demanding us to be logical, sensible, and use our common sense. So common sense is, I think common sense is the thing which is not very common, and that is why we need to develop this common sense also while trying to solve prelims questions. So newspapers use it for having a general awareness of our surroundings, and try to analyze things. For example, in newspaper, you see a person, I think one year ago I saw a person called Greta Thunberg, who is a child environmental activist, and she gave a fiery speech in World Economic Forum, and I used the same exact quote whatever she has used in my political science answer, in my essay, in one of the GS answers, the very same thing which she has spoken, and by quoting her. So while reading the newspaper, think of how you can use this, any news item, how I can use this in my mains, how I can use this question in my interview if asked, or how a question could be formed in prelims from this. So newspaper must be read always with the perspective of exam, if you are reading it for exam. So any news item, any concept, think of it of how I can utilize this particular news item in my answer, how can a question get formed in prelims from this news item, or how I can link this newspaper concept with any of the current affairs and use this as an example in answers. So this is how newspaper must be read. So I think number of hours is very, it is not very important, because it is the quality of the hours, number of quality hours which we are spending, right? So for me, I think I did not spend more than 6 to 8 hours per day, and also for some days we do not feel like studying, right? So I used to take a break, 2 or 3 days used to take a break, relax, and then get back, because that guilt is always there with us. If we do not study for 2 days, that guilt is always at the back of our head, and it makes us study the next day. So carry that guilt, don't let go of that guilt, because that guilt is very important in this preparation. It keeps us in check, but at the same time, it is not like you have to study 12 hours a day, 10 hours a day, only then we can clear this exam. That is not right. Use quality hours, focus on quality things, and it is not just the number of hours we are studying or sitting in front of the desk and studying which is contributing to the exam, right? So if I am going somewhere, if I am going and watching a movie, so I watched before last year's essay, I watched a documentary on Netflix called Social Dilemma, which spoke about some of the concepts on privacy. So when an essay came, I directly quoted whatever thing I saw in the documentary and wrote it in the movie, wrote it in the essay. So always, whatever you are doing, just keep thinking about the exam. How can I use this in the exam? If that is there, you are preparing 24/7. So think of it as a 24/7 preparation, but it must not be limited to just sitting at the desk and looking at the papers, looking at newspaper, looking at your notes, or watching YouTube, or watching courses, or coming to classes and listening. So even if you go outside and look at a poster, think of how you can use that poster in your exam. Think of how, why is this poster there? So like, have that perspective in the exam. Whichever thing you look at, whoever you talk to, how is this thing useful in my examination? So with that perspective, I think you are preparing 24/7. So you can start with any subject, but I think I would suggest start with something which interests you. So for me, I started with geography, but after studying for some time, I lost interest in geography, meaning it was not sustaining. So I thought I'll take a break from geography and started modern history, which is very, very interesting for me. Like even today, I like modern history a lot. So I started studying modern history, looked at the previous year questions and spent good amount of time. And that, and I've gone back to geography and resumed whatever I've done, because finishing the books whichever we have taken and finishing the syllabus, looking at the previous year question papers is important. So it is only the sequence. So even if we postpone one of the subjects, we have to finish it at some point of time. So start with something interesting so that you get involved in the studies. And if you are studying something interesting and if you start with something interesting, you will sit for long hours. And sitting for long hours is practiced, and that will get habituated, and you can easily utilize that habit for studying uninteresting subjects if there are any. That's it. Okay, thank you, all the best. Give your best, enjoy and study. And thank you. So see you.
This video is brought to you by AKSIAS.